All right, welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. This is our second live stream of the day. Well warranted because we're looking at all-time highs for Bitcoin, the highest daily candle close of Bitcoin's entire existence. So it's very suiting that I have the host of the Daily High here with me, Matt McGregor, to celebrate this daily high. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Ohayou gozaimasu. Welcome from Tokyo, Japan. What a treat this is. It's going to be a bit of a funny show today because I'm daddy daycare. So if I get a knock on the door, it means baby's crying downstairs and I'll have to run out for a second. But other than that, I'm bloody proud to be with you. Congratulations.
Right on.
Not only is it the all-time high daily candle close, it's the highest peak we've ever reached as well. So
Yeah,
we couldn't be happier here over in Japan.
it's looking good. It's looking good. All right. I am trying to figure out the chat side of things, but while I'm doing that, why don't we just jump into it? Do you want to start or should I start?
Hell, I'll start. Let's do it.
All right.
Look, if I'm going to go through some things that if you do watch the Daily High on the Financial Summit Network with Tone Vase, you'll know what I'm going to say. But I'm a one-trick pony, and I'm going to show you those tricks if you're new to me. Let's start on the weekly time frame. What an incredible weekly candle we're looking at here. As I turn on, we're looking at there's two indicators that I use, which is alphanumerics, which is my own proprietary indicator. Links in the description below for 30% off. I don't know. It's alphanumerics.pro. This looks absolutely brilliant. So what we're looking at, if you're unfamiliar with my work, we had like this purple phantom signal here, all right, which is an absolute brilliant indicator on alphanumerics that shows like a macro bullish swing position. That's like it changes all my mentality to bullish when we see this purple phantom, and I'll show you why in a second. But it doesn't have to immediately kick off the price like it did on the previous one. That coincided with a great green star and a breakout of this descending line, which clicked us immediately up. But you'll see a lot of the time that it's not an instant buy signal. We do tend to have a pattern where it does sort of trend sideways or slightly dip prior to the kicking off. But it means like I'm macro super bullish. And I was screaming this from the rooftops. This is a great time to get macro bullish. It's just one of the things on alpha that we love. So let's just go back and review a couple of them because I just love talking about them, right? So I'll put this on auto for a sec. Auto fit. This is the one we're looking at right now. Absolutely great. I mean, that came in at 109. We're at 115. Perfect. The one here obviously was a sensational signal. No doubt about it. Why didn't that go on auto? You bastard. Auto fit. The one prior to that, which you can see right here on the 30th of October last year. Fantastic. Absolutely screamer. This is another one of those ones that looks very similar to the one right now where we trend sideways for a few weeks. This is on the weekly time frame before eventually kicking us way off. Now we're going back in time. This one here, another one. Great returns there. One prior to that, we have to go all the way back to this one right here on the 25th of May. Absolute screamer, obviously. This is a good example here of one that didn't work. There's only been two in the history. Believe it or not, I'm going to repeat that. There's only been two purple phantom signals in the history of Bitcoin that didn't lead to tremendous gains. And they both came on black swan events, which you all recall the black swan COVID event. That one, I really believe that had that COVID not had occurred, that there was a clear breakout of all. It looks like it was ready to rock, and it did rock. It just took another 6 months to get there, but it did. That one failed. Obviously, this one was a screamer. Look at it. It's just insane, right? It's just Blue. You got any comment on these phantoms? I mean, aren't they?
I've been covering them a lot. One thing that when people find them, the one thing that I tell is like we're gonna have like a little bit of a pullback on them. We had the pullback. We're ready to rock and roll. You get like that 15 to 20% pullback on these purple phantom signals. The reason that there's often a pullback is because these are macro signals. These are macro. These are high time frames that these signals are coming from, but They're bangers. They're bangers.
Yeah.
So yeah, you may not nail the high leverage, like if you're swinging around 50x leverage trying to
Right.
catch a purple candle. Good
Mm.
luck to you, sir. But if
Yeah.
you are a hodler, if you're an investor, if you're a low leverage trader, these are fantastic
Yeah.
signals, and I love them.
No,
What do
I couldn't
you
agree
what do
more.
you
Yeah.
where do you think we're going to slow down here? What do you reckon?
Oh, let me go through what I'm looking at, all the things, because we've got time. We've got time to breathe in this show. It's not the daily high. I don't have a 3-minute window. So I'll go through all the things that I'm loving right now, and then we'll try and make some of those assessments after. So the Phantom obviously is a great signal. The most important signal, I think, is when the wave turns green. So like let's just review this for a second. The wave turned red back, on this candle, probably here on the 24th of February. And we went through this period of downside, which was scary. We were held up by the 50 simple moving average, which is fantastic that we retained the 50 simple. And in hindsight, that is just brilliant that we did it previously. And we tend to do that. So it looks brilliant. It looks like in hindsight, there was nothing to worry about. But yeah, believe me, this was a worrying time. But the MRI came in brilliantly with when we were down, below the 50 simple. That was an MRI buy signal on Tone Vaser's MRI. It's held up by the 50 simple. Then on probably this candle here on the 21st of April, we broke the wave green. Wave green is as bullish as you get. Again, it doesn't have to be an instant buy signal, but it's a macro bullish trend. Bang, we're on. We're green. We're green here. We're breaking out of this descending line here, crossing the moving averages. Bang, we're looking great. The last few weeks have been funny. We've had this, and I'll do it on a lower time frame as we move down here. The last thing I want to speak about on the weekly time frame, there's plenty to talk about on the weekly time frame, is the Copic curve. Now, I was talking about this at nauseum in the daily high when we had the bearish cross back in December. That was when I was out of Bitcoin, basically, which occurred right here in the December. I thought we were going into a dry spell, and we did, in fact, go through that dry spell, as you can see, with this Copic curve coming all the way down. And then back here at the same time of that MRI candle, when we started to recover. See, it's all coming in together. All these things play together. We had, as you can see on the Copic curve right here, first of all, I was really, really excited about this bullish cross that happened right here, because just from that perfect top to bottom cross, I was really excited about that. This is a free indicator. It's in your indicators. It's called the EXA, made by Socrates, a good friend of ours. But this was a failed cross. It didn't result in much. The price actually went lower, but put in like this really good divergence. And on this cross that then came in was really terrific. We had a bearish cross a few weeks ago, which was when the price trended sideways here for a while. And I wasn't too concerned about it because it wasn't like a blow off top like this. It wasn't a clear cut one. But I've been waiting for this to round off, and now it has rounded off again. It's just another one of those things that you want to see. You want to see that rounding up. You want to see that. The only last thing I'll talk about is we have been looking at a divergence on the weekly time frame here for Bitcoin. Let's just have a quick look. This is something that I'm going to leave this line in. I want to see us break this descending line that you can see right here. The reason is, if you know much about divergences, the first one starts here. We're getting higher in price, as you can see perfectly, but the RSI is not getting to higher peaks. That's what a divergence is. And so it can be a sign of the top of the market, in fact. So if the price jumps up to 125,000 or whatever, 128,000, and we touch exactly on to this descending line here, I think that might be where we tap out for a minute. I want to see us clear that, so it makes this divergence null and void, which would be really, really good. If we were looking for further upside, it's going to have to do that. But I could definitely see us hitting that, coming back, and then meandering thereafter. So that's where I'm sitting on the weekly. Any comments about that, Baloo, before I move on to the daily?
No, just just my thoughts. I think we invalidate that divergence. I think we're ready to fucking rip, and we'll get into
Right.
my TA after. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're gonna rip, and I think we're gonna take out that high. And but you're right. Don't try to predict. Just look at the information that's presented to you, and as it's presented right now, there's a divergence, and gotta watch that area right there. If it breaks
Yeah.
out and takes out that prior high, it's looking really good. But
Yeah,
until
it's
then,
it's not it's not nothing. It's not nothing,
yeah.
and that's the interesting part. In fact, it's perfect almost. This might become a textbook. We might jump to 128,000, hit on this line beautifully, and then get a serious rejection. So keep that in mind, guys, because as like the other side of this line is money, and rejection from here could lead to a really good shorting opportunity. So just putting that out there. Daily time frame. This is what we've been looking at on the daily high. All right, so we've had this descending line in right here. I mean, I love all my indicators as much as anything, but it's just looking at classical chart patterns. It's very important too. We broke out of this descending line as predicted. Especially I was calling for this big time when we were back down, just touching on the simple moving averages here when we came up. I remember exactly. I was doing a show with Tone, and we were exactly on this candle right here on the 30th of May. And we were at the exact point where I drew this line in. And I said, I don't think we're going to break through this on the first attempt. I think we'll get a rejection. And on the second attempt, it's money. And we did exactly. We were on that line to that dot when we did the show. And then we came back down, which is absolutely perfect that we came back to the 50 simple and the 30 simple moving average. Then on the second attempt, we broke through it. Magic, right? Perfect. Came back, retested the 7, came back, retested the breakout point, and on this attempt, bang. That is classical chart pattern 101. Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't be more happy with that. That's my daily. The 4 hour is where it gets really, really juicy. Once again, I just want to leave this here for a second to embrace how amazing alphanumerics was. If you're watching this, you don't have alphanumerics, you got to add it to your arsenal. This is what we call on the 4 hour time frame. These are our buy signals. These aren't like macro bullish trends. These are immediate buy signals. These green diamonds inside the green wave. When the wave turns green like this, the price will be above all the moving averages, and we're waiting for the first throwback inside the green wave. Like everyone's getting excited here, getting excited. They're super excited here. If you want to buy signal, you're just either chasing the price or you don't have any great signal. A throwback inside the green wave on a green diamond, and your money. Look, that there is a 10%er. That's where you can use your 10x leverage. Bang. Then the second one, look at this as it stands. What are we up? We're way above the price right here. But so let me move this down. What are we at right now? As it stands, 18%, 10x leverage, money, absolutely money. And on the show, I've been talking about them, but it was really, really wanted us to see us break this line right here, which it seems arbitrary right now. But this is what I've been looking at. See, on these keep turning themselves off, man. Every show, I got to go into these settings and click that button. Don't know why. This is Tone Vase's, MRI.
MRI.
Yeah. So we were stuck in a channel between. This is called a support and resistance zone. So this red line right here is this previous high, and this green line down here is where it got scary. And when we're coming down in here, I was saying, but when the green diamond came in, I said, this is a fantastic buy for two reasons. You've got this great opportunity to buy this green diamond right here, but I wouldn't take it past this green line here because that would start to get scary for me if we started to get below that. And we held it, which was brilliant. And then when we came up and touched exactly on that time when we did the show, and I said, look, we need to break this red line here for me to get really excited because that would change the structure of the market rather than just coming up and putting in a lower high. I want to see us break this red line right here. So then we're putting in higher lows, and we touched it when I was on the show, got rejected, and then I put that line in because I said, I think this needs to continue. I still believe that. At that line, when we break that line, we're off, is what I said. And we did. We done. We did it. That's all I have to say right now. I'm coming back to you in studio, Baloo. I couldn't be more happy about the price. Couldn't be more happy. The bots are firing on all cylinders. I'm in about, I'll just have a look right as it stands right now. I'm using 2 bots that we have. I'll bring this up. What am I in profit right now on this simple trades? I got both bots in a profit of, one second. Okay. $1,200, nearly $1,300 unrealized profit right now on these bots. It looks great. They're kicking ass. They're kicking ass. And this is what we always said about the bots since we've really refined them, is that it's a long-term rollover effect. I think that they're all probably in profit right now, and or if not very, very close. I'm very, very proud. Join the community. You've got access to the free bots. Thank you for staying with us all this time. Baloo, what are you seeing, mate? Am I way off base here?
No, I mean, you're talking to one of the more like hopelessly bullish individuals in the space. I'm just relentlessly bullish. And yeah, I mean, it's been nothing but smooth sailing. It's interesting to see the MRI the MRI breakout line, because that's where I was looking at an entry. That my chart got way too messy there. But anyways, that line right here, I'll just draw it manually because I don't have MRI ready to go. You had that MRI line right here. Make it red. Make it red and big. And then as soon as we took out that high, I'm like, okay, well, we've broken the structure now. We've broken the downtrend. We were looking at this flag formation, this downward sloping channel with a double bottom, of which the double bottom had 2 green diamonds. Love the green diamond setup. And we changed the structure. We got a new high, came down and tested on top of this downward sloping channel. And that's when I put it in the Discord. And I said, guys, it's go time. It's time to take a position. I was actually live at the time, which has never happened. I'm never trading live, but I was live. I said, there was people that were seeing it 108, who were for the people that weren't on the live stream. And then when we were at 107 breaking out of this triangle, I was like, it's breakout, it's going. And sure enough, like 20-30 minutes later, it was up past brand new all-time highs. My trade's looking pretty juicy, pretty sweet here, looking at nearly 16,000 in profit total P&L here on BitGet. If you guys aren't already signed up, go to blackbox.pro, BLKBöX.pro. We have up to $50,000 in sign-up bonuses with BitGet. We also have a sign-up bonus around $30,000 with Bybit, and a $50,000 bonus with Blowfin as well. Terms and conditions obviously apply, but if KYC is something that you're worried about, I suggest checking out Blowfin. They recently got coin margin as well, which is what Matt and I primarily trade. But yeah, what's there to talk about? There's no setup. The setups are gone. We're just cruising now. We're just enjoying the fruits of the labor here. We just got our daily candle open a couple hours ago. We got 22 hours left in this candle. I'm expecting this candle to be green, if not greener than this candle, believe it or not. The prior candle that just closed was a 4.5% candle. I would not be surprised to see another 4.5% candle on this candle's close over the next 22 hours. Bitcoin, especially, I talk about sentiment a lot, and I talk about how, when the herd is really, really bored or negative, or there's just a lack of life to the market overall, those are kind of the best setups. And Bitcoin specifically has this habit of when it finally breaks free of a range, when it finally breaks free of that consolidation, it doesn't pull back. It just goes. Like the pullback was here when it originally broke out of this consolidation. The pullback happened. If you're waiting for a pullback on this, nobody has a crystal ball, not financial advice, but this is what Bitcoin does. When it breaks out, it just goes. It just goes and it goes and it goes. You
And
can
yet,
see
and
the
just to agree on that point, man, just to add to it, even sorry to cut your flow, you make all your money in Bitcoin in such a short period of time. You got to be all over it because this could jump to 128,000, whatever. Let's just give it an arbitrary number, $120,000, and then stay in a range for 3 months, and people fall asleep again. This is what it does. You make all your money. I don't mind FOMOing in on Bitcoin if I'm seeing something like this breakout. Like I don't look at Bitcoin at 110 and think, the price is too high. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't be thinking 110 is too high because you should have got in at 16. It doesn't matter. It's new day, new trade.
Yeah. When it's going, it's going. And when it gets into this mode, this up only mode, like you got to figure it out. If you miss the move on leverage, make sure you're in spot. That's all I can say. Because, here was the last time it broke out of consolidation, and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row with no pullbacks, just green days, big green days. Even still over here, when it finally broke past that 7 or that like 9 month long chop solidation, that brutal one around 70K, when it finally broke loose, it just goes. And you said 128 was an arbitrary number that you just made up. It's not. That is the 786 extension target that we have right here. I've got a couple fibs here that I pulled from this swing low to this swing high to the correction low, and that the 0.786 brings us to 127.8. So 28,000. Like I honestly think that can happen tomorrow. Now, it's not a prediction, but when Bitcoin starts to go, man, like it's going to go. And the extended fib targets, as we talked about earlier in today's, in the last live stream that I did earlier today, we're looking at the 100% extension at 135 and the 1.618 extending even as far as 160. And these are numbers that are really going to grab the attention of the market. These are the numbers that are going to get Bitcoin flashing all over CNBC and get retail excited again, because we definitely just came out of a lull of excitement and volume. Like I'm looking at volume, I'm looking at YouTube views, I'm looking at YouTube comments, I'm looking at technical volume of contracts being sold, I'm looking at derivatives volume, I'm looking at on-chain volume, mempool transactional volume. We were in a bear market yesterday. We were in a bear market in terms of volume. So if we can start hitting some of these price targets of 120, 130, 140, we're not going to be in a bear market as far as volume is concerned. And the really exciting thing for me is we were at all-time highs with bear market volume. So the bid on Bitcoin is so strong. The bid on Bitcoin is so strong. And there's just not a lot holding it back, in my opinion. In this next phase, this phase 2 bull market that I've been talking about for a long time, I think that this is really going to be kind of the exciting part of the market that we've been waiting for months.
It's so funny you say that, the sentimental bear market we were in. Even the show I did with Tone a few days ago, and he was like, he was tired. He was tired and exhausted or whatever. It was nighttime for him. But his mood was just like, this is boring. There's nothing to talk about. But we were at like 108 or something, 106, 107, something like that. And I just said to him, I called him out. I'm like, what are you talking about? We're over $100,000 Bitcoin. Like for guys like Tony and I who have been in since $1,000 or whatever. What are you talking about? I'm pretty excited here. We're about to break out. And he was like, nah. Call me when it does, But then after the show, he was like, man, I'm just so tired. You're probably right. It looks really good. So but he didn't say it on air.
Hey, the last live stream I had prior to this bullish move, I literally said, guys, I'm so bored. And we were, I went through kind of the same point, and we talked about, let's put things into perspective here. The S&P 500 over the last from the bear market low of Bitcoin. I did a measurement from the bear market low of Bitcoin. It's up over 600%. I haven't checked it again. It's going to be much more than that now.
Can I pull up the S&P chart as you're talking about it there? I want to show something on that too.
Yep. Go ahead.
Please continue the sentiment.
But yeah, you know, from Bitcoin's bear market low, it's up over 600%. And the S&P from that same time period low, because the S&P hasn't been in a bear market, it's just, you know, up only with shallow corrections. It's 70%. So, you know, we're all whining and bitching and being like, man, Bitcoin's so boring, nothing's happening, I think we're in a bear market, and 600% up whenever, you know, the best that you could have possibly done in the S&P was 78%.
This is what I wanted to show on the S&P. All right, so this is unbelievable. Again, alphanumerics. We had a parabolic run, and there's no other way to put it, putting in the highest highs, and then we went into this market crash when the war started and all this sort of crazy nonsense, and we got this insane weekly green diamond on the S&P, right? And that let's just call it the candle close. It went slightly below. It went 5% below to current price. We're up 24%. 24% on the S&P off a buy signal on alphanumerics. If you don't have alphanumerics, you're doing yourself a disservice. When was the last time we had a weekly green diamond? Oh, COVID, not bad. When was the time prior to that? I'll put this on auto. This is bugging me. 1 second. I mean, this is a show, a celebratory show. Oh, here? Okay, what was that? The housing crisis? I don't know. Like, oh, previously, we got 3 here. Bang, bang, bang. That was the housing crisis, right? But still, buy that, buy. Man, dollar cost averaging into the S&P on alphanumerics weekly green diamonds. This is the craziest thing. We had this green diamond come in right here on what we will look back as like a flash crash, a nothing burger. But I couldn't believe that we were getting a green diamond come in at such high prices. Like, looking back, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't come in at $2,000. It came in at $5,000 on the S&P. I was screaming this. This is a fucking buy. Look at this. Look at this magic. Yeah. And bang. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. There's nothing else like it. And just lastly, I've got this other chart. One of our great followers brought Estee Lauder to my attention, and I got in Estee Lauder at 63, right? This was a monthly time frame we were looking at here, and I got into Estee Lauder here at 63, and I was screaming this on Twitter and all this sort of stuff as well. This just looked too good to be true. I couldn't believe it, and I can't remember who brought it to my attention. Might have been Stop the Madness. I'll have to figure it out. Well, one of our great Discord followers and Twitter followers brought this to my attention. I couldn't believe it, licking my lips. 2 monthly green diamonds after a pullback from top to bottom of an 86% crash correction to get 2 green diamonds. I took a punt at 63 and we're at 92 right now. That is a sorry guys, I'll have to bugger, give me a second. Sorry, I got one hand on one of those little funny pads.
Yeah, you're good.
Let's just round off 50% gain. That's a 50% gain. I said, I don't know where this is going to go. I'm not predicting all-time highs, nothing like that, but I said this is a trade that you take to just get us to come back up and touch the 30 simple right here at a 126, which would be a 100% return on this trade on Estee Lauder, a well-known brand. I couldn't believe that trade was there, and I took it, and I couldn't be more happy. Back to you, Blue.
It's looking good for those stock bros. Absolutely, some really good alpha with it's really simple too. Like, all it is just an oversold indicator. Yeah, we're always trying to find value. Like, the highest probability setup that you can possibly take is completely counter trend. So some people need that visual to say, like, because these are hard things to buy. Like, if you're new to trading and you're looking at a green diamond, you will be shitting your pants. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You'll be shitting your pants buying these green diamonds. So
Who
we're
who
not gonna
buys
we're not
who buys something that's 90% down? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
every book, every trading book. There's a 10,000 trading books in here. None of them say buy a stock that's 90% down. That's dog shit stocks. But what we do is over here at Alpha and with Baloo, we look for premium stocks like a Bitcoin, like an S&P. That's not a stock, it's an index. But you know what I mean? Like something with great long-term value, like a McDonald's or a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola or something like this that has brand recognition. Estee Lauder. Ask your wife what Estee Lauder is. She'll tell you. It's in every fucking airport in the world. It's down 90%. It's got a monthly oversold green diamond. That's worth a punt. And it's there's no leverage. It's a spot buy that you can hold for 4 years. It's not, it's really that simple. It's that simple. But you got to choose you can't choose your Dogecoin to do it. You got to, or whatever your penny stock, you got to find something that has a history of recovering, a brand recognition. Take it away, Blue.
Yeah, I mean, when they're almost, I hate to use the term
too big to fail,
but companies that are really well established, and it's going to take quite a lot for those companies to disappear. That being said, funny little interesting Canadian tidbit: the Hudson's Bay Company, which was a 300-year-old company, older than Canada, just shut their doors, shut down, went bankrupt. They're done.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work every time, but the big ones can fail on occasion. But yeah, if you have something that has product market fit, that has well-established, recognizable brand like Estee Lauder, then it's oversold, man. Like it's not going to go. It's in the value zone, and that's what the green diamonds are marking. We got a couple questions in the chat here. Let's
when I do the show, you can normally click on them and bring them up. I guess I'm not a host, but you can click on them and bring them up.
I can. It just makes our charts so small when I do that. Oh, and it's only new comments.
Right.
Yeah, there it is.
You can click on it, put it back where it was. Click on it. And
I see.
It'll come across the bottom.
Yeah, I'm new to Restream. I'm usually using
OBS. I love it.
Okay, so yeah, no, that's a great feature here. So here's one for you. Is Ethereum going to outperform Bitcoin?
No.
I want to hear your thoughts on this. Really? You think no? Yeah. No. Okay. Care to go?
Over what time? Over what time frame? In a week or a month? Or
I think for the duration of the bull market moving forwards.
No, Ethereum's dog shit. Look at the BTC. Don't look at Ethereum against US dollar. Look at it against Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean it's been down, but it kind of looks like the Estee Lauder trade when you look at it here.
Yeah,
and that's the green diamonds.
That's valid, but I mean, you're playing with fire. Buying Bitcoin is the safest thing you could do. I think it's safer than anything. It's great. It's a great buy. You want Bitcoin, like if you're a great trader, there's money to be made in this kind of flicking between, arbitraging between Ethereum and Bitcoin. But are you that good? Are you as good as you think you are? Do you know what I mean? Can you pass a prop trading test? Do you know, like if you can, then fucking rock and roll. But if you're not passing prop trading tests, then just buy Bitcoin, accumulate Bitcoin. Do what you can to accumulate Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's my 2 cents.
It's good info. I've been keeping people out of alts for the duration of the bull market because we're looking at Bitcoin dominance here. I don't know how many times you've tuned into my stream, but this is a chart that I drill home quite a bit. Everybody's just chomping at the bit to get altcoin exposure, and altcoins are good. I will say, yes, if you haven't cut your teeth in the market and you know how to trade assets properly, then you should probably stay away from the stuff that's harder to trade. Bitcoin is easy to trade. but certainly don't do it when the market's working against you. And when we're in this type of environment where it's nothing but higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, everything is a higher high and higher low. You're going against the trend to try and take a position in Ethereum right now. What I need to see is right now, here's the most recent swing high, here's the most recent swing low, swing high. We need to break below at least 62%. We're at 64.5% right now, which doesn't sound like we need to go that much. But when you're talking Bitcoin dominance, that's a massive, massive drop. So we have a long way to go just before we can begin to say that the trend is changing. And so I will say, you know, going back to the root of the question, do I think Ethereum can outperform Bitcoin? I think if altcoin dominance is falling, then yes, I think there's a potential that in the short term, it can make you more sats than just trading the dollar pair on Bitcoin. But it's a big if, and you should not front run this if, because there's a very interesting fundamental thing that's different about this cycle. And that's that everything is very Bitcoin oriented. We have Bitcoin treasury companies. We have Bitcoin ETFs. We have just companies announcing the use of Bitcoin. And there's just the focus is always on Bitcoin or gaining that leveraged exposure on Bitcoin through the stock market. So there is a possibility that your shitcoin will never fucking rally again. I think that there will be trickle down economics to the entire market doing well, and that will, you know, eventually make its way into the crypto market. But what if this altcoin season is just Bitcoin treasury companies, and it's just all of these Bitcoin treasury companies spinning up all of these, you know, spinning up all of these MicroStrategy like companies. And that's where the action is. That's where the shit coins are. So, you know, the shit coin might not be the Aave and the Uniswap and the poop coin and the fart coin and all those stupid bullshit, because we don't have degenerates in this cohort of this cycle. So it might be that it's happening on the stock market. So food for thought, just keep that kind of on the back burner as a possibility. And the easiest way to hedge against that is to just always have a predominantly Bitcoin balanced portfolio. If you're going to take bets, like the biggest mistake that new people make, the biggest mistake that new people make is they don't heavily weight their crypto portfolio in Bitcoin. By far, like you will avoid 99.9% of the mistakes that you can possibly make by just heavily weighting your portfolio at least 80% to Bitcoin. If you do that, you will do very well because you're hedging against the fact that the rest of it's just a scam. And that trickles down to you know, the Bitcoin treasury companies on the stock market as well. I think it's a stupid scam that will have its little mania phases as well. Thoughts?
Yeah, look, I'm a difficult person to speak about altcoins to, because I don't care. I'm not. I understand. Like if you haven't got much money and you're looking at Bitcoin, going like, well, I can only get like 0.1 Bitcoin. That's like a lot of money right now. Or I can buy fart coin. It's only whatever. It has more upside. Yeah. Then do it. I don't care about that. But
What
I
are
mean,
what are your thoughts on the whole notion that maybe this altcoin season, quote unquote, this altcoin season is actually happening on the stock market and that it's
I
not
don't.
altcoins?
I don't think about it. I don't think about it, and I
Okay.
don't have an opinion on it. I don't have an opinion on any shit coins or anything stock market related to like derivative Bitcoin things. Listen, I'm only Bitcoin in terms of cryptocurrencies, and I've been that way for like 7 years. And by hyper focusing on one asset and being very good at trading that one asset and building all my wealth in that one asset that I know very well, I've made fucking millions and millions of dollars. I've got like $30 million. Do you know what I mean? From one asset. Didn't need any of the fart coins to do that. So I don't know if there's still a chance to do that in Bitcoin. And I don't know if you've got the capital to be able to do that. I don't know. I'm not you. But I never had to go that way. and it's worked out pretty well. I haven't had to sustain 90% crashes and getting wiped out, and there's rug pulls and all that stuff. And I don't recommend you do it either. Go Estee Lauder is up 50%. You know, is your fight coin up 50% on a very, very clean trade? I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think of MSTR? What do you think of MicroStrategy? What do you think about what they're doing? And do you pay attention to that chart at all?
Yeah, we look at it. It just looks like the Bitcoin chart. I'd rather hold Bitcoin. But I think that it's become an anchor for Bitcoin, because if he's not selling and just accumulating, there's going to be, if it hasn't already started, an absolute vacuum where there is no more Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoin. There isn't any to buy. You can't buy it. And that's when you can get.
That's a call that I've been talking about before all of this shit. I've been saying for years, eventually it's all going to dry up because, you know, the demand is always greater than the available supply when you're in a bull market. That's not new. That's always the case. But if these treasury companies are just hoovering it up with no intention to sell, and they're just going to sell the debt on the company, that's crazy. And then you add the other layer to that, where when these OTC desks dry up and these Bitcoin treasury, I think there's going to be a Bitcoin treasury mania. So MicroStrategy is the play. That's like the framework for a lot of these dead companies to revive themselves. And, you know, you get a flashy CEO coming in saying, yeah, I don't care if we sell, you know, nail clippers. We're going to be a Bitcoin treasury company, and we're going to be a multi-billion-dollar company that sells nail clippers because of our Bitcoin strategy. But the thing is, Michael Saylor and some of the more sophisticated guys, they've got connections. They've got connections to the OTC markets. They can buy Bitcoin in bulk without moving the market. These fuddy-duddy morons that are coming onto the scene don't have those connections. So if they want to actually play that playbook, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to market buy on these exchanges, and you're going to see crazy fucking Omega candles, massive Omega candles.
And Michael Saylor can buy all the OTC he wants. That's just cementing a floor as far as I'm concerned. That's good for us. It doesn't matter. Oh, Michael Saylor buys 20,000 Bitcoin and we're like, well, the price didn't move. No, but the floor just raised a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And that's good news for me.
Yep. We got another question here, and I know we don't. Well, we're talking about MicroStrategy. So MG made a comment here, and he also gave us $10 super chat. Thanks for the super chat, man. MG. I really appreciate that.
I expect $5 of that to be sent across immediately.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in Bitcoin. Been buying MSTR and MSTX since the MSTR purple candle hit. Do you want to give us some TA on the purple candle for MSTR?
Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, is it the weekly? I'm guessing he's still weekly.
Yeah.
MSTR. Let's have a gander on the. Oh, that looks amazing. Look at that. Weekly. Yeah, right. See, this is what I mean. It's a Bitcoin chart, and he's referring to this purple candle right here. It did exactly like as Bitcoin did. It meandered for a while, and we are at the point of breakout right now. There's a trade on MSTR right now. I think that looks amazing. Look at that. It's a perfect cup and handle. Unbelievable. Baloo, is that one of the best cup and handles you've ever seen?
It's pretty sexy. What I like most about it is, you know, like we've already said a few times, I feel like this is just an alphanumerics pitch. Guys, we're not just constantly pitching alphanumerics. These are the tools that we learned as traders. This is what we like to use.
Was that somebody's comment?
No, that's just like what we've been talking about is alphanumerics, but that's literally how we trade. Anyways, but you know, what I love about the purple candle is what comes after a purple candle is a 15 to 20% pullback, and then it curls back up. So you've got this perfect cup and handle formation where the lip of the cup is that purple candle. And then you have that, pull a retrace on that. It's got to be 15%.
Okay. That's an
15%. There you go. So you've got a 15% handle on that cup and handle. It's I don't know. We're bullish on Bitcoin, so we're bullish on MSTR. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
And it's just the same point again. Like it's a mirrored chart. They're completely correlated. But like to come back down to touch on the 50 simple moving average, as Bitcoin did perfectly the same way, to get the breakout where the wave turned green, you get the green star on the weekly MRI count. You come up to the top of the MRI count, which is the top of the 9 here for the perfect retracement, absolutely perfect MRI. And then you get another green star here for the kickoff to get the top of the cup and handle breakout measured move of $560 or something like we're looking,
Yeah.
the measured move. This is
it's it's going to clear 1,000.
It's just how you do the cup and handle. That's what we're looking for. $650.
Yeah. Easy.
Money for jam on MSTR.
Easy.
Whoever's buying MSTR on that there, you've done very well, son. Well done.
Yeah, that's MG killing it with MSTR. Rob James is saying there's so much hype amongst institutions around ETH. If we're entering a mania stage, then ETH will moon far more than BTC. That's an opinion piece by him. But he does bring up an interesting point in regards to the ETH treasury companies as a new narrative for TradFi. I agree with you, Rob. I think that if this whole, because everything is about this treasury company stuff. If Bitcoin treasury companies start working more and more, it's the next logical thing that somebody's going to put their hand up and be like, well, we're doing an Ethereum treasury company. Oh, we're doing a Cardano treasury company. We're doing an XRP treasury company. So I think the silliness will ensue. And I really do, food for thought again for a lot of those people that are actually crypto native individuals who are building altcoin bags that don't hold anything on the stock market. Don't be surprised if the altcoin season, the majority of the altcoin season, occurs on the stock market in the form of these treasury companies. So yeah, good comment there from Rob.
Yeah, Rob, you might be right. I just refer back to what I said before. I don't do it, and I've never needed to. But you let me know if it works out for you, man. Let me know. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. All right. We've been rocking and rolling for a good clip here now. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or should we start wrapping things up?
Let's just review Bitcoin for one more second before we go. Look, I'm just looking at the bots again now. I mean, they look good, man. They've really come good. I'm really
we've always said that they are bullish biased bots because we are bullish biased traders. So our strategies are bullish biased. And now that we're in a bullish biased trading environment, the bots are going to do well. So if you guys aren't already set up here, let me just quickly go over to my screen here. Go to blackbox.pro, BLKBöX.pro, and sign up for your free Bitcoin trading bot. It's really easy to get set up. If you've never made an API connection, we're totally here to help you figure that out. It's hard if you've never done it, but it's not that hard once you've done it, if that makes sense. We can join the trading community. So just click the join trading community if you want help, or if you just want to kind of hang out and suss everything out before you decide to do anything drastic like start a free Bitcoin trading bot. But anyways, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, look, that's it. I thank you, Blue, for bringing that up. I'm just satisfied with the charts. Look, it's still moving, as we speak. This is what Blue said. He thinks today is going to be a green candle. It's looking really nice. I mean, if you're looking at that, you would say, well, it's going to probably come back and retouch the 7. It will. The price will always be above or below the 7 simple moving average. People hate when I say, ew, it has to do this, because it's like there's like a mentality. It's like, oh, it doesn't have to do anything. It has to do it. It has to do it. Look,
it has to. Unless it's going to infinity tomorrow, it has to.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Is this blue line right here? Just to be clear, it's a 7 simple moving average. The price will get way above it, and then it'll catch up. It'll get way above it, and it'll catch up. You never buy when it's. I don't buy when it's this far above the 7 simple moving average.
On leverage.
On leverage.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
would buy that breakout. I would buy that breakout. That's just me. If it was spot and
yeah.
it's like, you know,
I'm catching myself. I'm not
yeah,
buying now because I'm already 100%, right?
yeah, yeah,
But but you can still buy now. In a parabolic move, you can still buy. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth to buy here when we're this far up above the 7 simple, because I can see this rocketing off. And I would have to say, as a trader, I've missed it if I wasn't in right now. But if it just trended sideways for a day or two, this would come back up, and then you could take it on the next leg. If it came back down, you could buy it on the dip. It's just really, really tricky. But I still think it's gonna rock. Just for me personally, if I wasn't in immediately, I couldn't buy it now. Looking at that, I just couldn't as a swing trade, as an investment trade. Why not?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hey, Bulu, this has been such a great show. Can I tease funded, or is it too early to tease funded? XYZ.
Well, I don't know. Is it too? You're asking the wrong person. Is it too early to tease funded? I mean, you're in talks with those guys.
I'm gonna tease this because, all right, guys, this is what I've been working on. YZ.com. This is not out yet. Oh, funded.
It's probably not .com. It's funded.
It's not
.xyz. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just a moron. Can't spell. Legally retarded. So give me a second. www. And I've done it wrong again. There's the.
All right. The search bar is out of view, anyways.
Oh, good. You didn't see me spell that wrong 6 times, guys. This is coming this month. I've built with a group of the largest Chinese language KOLs in the world in Bitcoin, and I have partnered up with consultation with Baloo and the team at Blackbox to build Funded XYZ. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin Ethereum prop trading firm in the world. We already do 80% of the referred business to other funded prop firms, and we're going to be consolidating that into Funded XYZ. It's a brand new company. This hasn't launched yet, but you're welcome to read it. This is just the demo. I'm not supposed to talk about it yet. We haven't even opened it up yet. It's only available in Singapore and Malaysia as it stands, and a few other countries that use VPNs to get in. But it'll be worldwide soon. If you don't know what a prop firm is, this is unbelievable. You can take a test. Okay, you take a test, and if you pass the test, we fund your account with the different amounts depending on what the application fee was. So a $30 application, if you pass the test, we fund your account with $2,000. For 1,200, $100,000, we fund your account. And what that means is basically this is the safest way, I think, to trade, because you know exactly what your risk is going into the trade. This is why I'm so big on this. You know how much you are risking in the application. You risk $1,200, and if you pass the test, then you get you get the money back that you took, and you get $100,000 of our money in the account to trade with, and you get to keep 80% of the profits that you make with $100,000. This is the best way for someone with a small amount of money to have the opportunity to trade with $100,000. This is the thing. If you're a great trader, but you've only got $1,000, you can't live off that. You can be the best trader in the world.
It's probably the number one excuse that I hear from people, or like justification for over leveraging an account. It's like, well, I don't have a big account. I need to leverage it up. And that's a bullshit excuse. I always say it's a bullshit excuse, but this is an opportunity to get a funded account, like whatever you have in your head as a vision for, well, if I had, a $50,000 account, I wouldn't be trading like this. Well, okay, you can get that for $600. So, you take that $600 stop loss that you would have been taking on a $2,500 account or whatever the hell you're doing. I don't know. But now you have the actual size that you're looking for, so that you can actually, trade the way that you intend to trade, or at least trade the way that you say that you're going to trade if you
Yeah,
had a
right.
funded account. So,
I mean,
but yeah,
what are the chances of you taking $1,000, 100x leveraging it? So you've got $100,000, account to trade with. Very, very difficult stuff. But you pass the test, which is a very reasonable test to pass. If you're a good enough trader, you should be able to pass the test. And then you can have $100,000 and you just 2x leverage trade it, grind out. The profits are yours. The 100,000 is not yours, that's mine. But 80% of the profits you make are yours that you can withdraw
yeah.
it as it goes. It's the best. It's a
And
really, really fantastic way.
farmers already getting ahead of us here. Say, love it. Good way to find great traders and turn their systems into a bot. We're
Well, that's what
probably
we
going to
do.
be doing that.
That's what we do.
It's gonna be
this.
this group think, like,
Yeah.
hive mind of good traders, and the people that are consistently profitable passing this test, their data gets aggregated, and we create algos. So you've nailed it. You've hit the nail on the head with that, farmer.
Yep. So just stay tuned. Funded XYZ is coming to a internet service near you very shortly. I'm glad I teased that out. All right, let's go. It's an hour-long show. I'm done. I can't believe the babies didn't wake up. What a pleasure.
Well, let's wrap it up. All right, guys. So thank you all for joining in. Don't forget to go check out blackbox.pro. Like, subscribe, do all the things. You know the stuff. You're not new to this shit. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there.
We'll be back Monday. We'll be doing this Monday morning.
We'll be back Monday. Yes.
Every Monday.
The new time slot for this show, is going to be the weekly close. That's a very important close. We want to make sure that we cover it. So every weekly close, that's Sunday at 0 UTC, wherever you are in the world, we will be doing this show. So definitely hit subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, wherever you're watching, and then hit the bell notifications if you need to do any of that stuff. That's it. Thank you all for joining in, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.